What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jonesy. Welcome back to another video. We have done a bunch of disrespectful videos, and this is the 6th one. This is the last actual only sport one, and this one is disrespectful moments in MMA and in brackets UFC. So we're gonna check this one out. Hopefully this doesn't get demonetized. I mean, not monetized, copyright striked or anything like that, or like not appropriate for YouTube. But it's already on YouTube, so hopefully. But yeah. Anyways, let's get right into the video and watch it.
Historically, martial arts has emphasised concepts like honour, discipline and respect. For the most part, MMA fighters embody these ideas and in turn behave in accordance. With that said, there have still been some mixed martial artists who, on occasion, may have strayed away from the core principles associated with their crafts, particularly when it comes to being respectful. So, with that in mind, we've decided to take a look at some of the most notable moments of disrespect inside the UFC octagon. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Now, without further ado, and ranked in no particular order, let's take a look at 10 times UFC fighters were blatantly disrespectful. Number 10. Ronda Rousey refusing to shake Miesha Tate's hand. Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate were involved in what would become the UFC's first major rivalry between two female fighters. The two had previously faced one another while working under the Strikeforce banner, where they exchanged some harsh words leading up to their first fight in 2013. After signing with the UFC, the pair found themselves in opposing corners as coaches on the 18th season of The Ultimate Fighter. During the series, it became crystal clear that both Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate genuinely despise one another. Season 18 culminated with a rematch between the two, which took place at UFC 168. Heading into the bout, Rousey was sporting a perfect 7-0 record, having submitted all of her previous opponents in the very first round. The former Olympian would end up winning the rematch via an armbar submission. Still, Tate did become the first fighter Rousey has faced to make it out of round 1 in what was a relatively competitive fight. Following the match, hoping to bury the hatchet, Tate extended her hand in a show of sportsmanship. Shockingly, Rousey refused the gesture and opted to pass up on the handshake. Naturally, Ronda Rousey was heavily criticised for refusing to shake hands, which in part would make the once beloved fighter something of a polarising figure amongst MMA fans. Number 9. Michael Bisping spits on Jorge Rivera's corner. During his UFC run, former middleweight champ Michael the Count Bisping established himself as one of the sport's premier trash talkers. However, his UFC 127 opponent Jorge Rivera proved that he too was no slouch when it came to trash talk. Leading up to their showdown, Jorge released a series of videos that criticised everything from Bisping's accent to his family. So, when the two finally met in the cage, the Count was out for revenge, as he pummeled his opponent and landed what appeared to be a blatantly illegal knee, on his way to securing a second round TKO victory. After the fight was over, having taken exception to Jorge's previous remarks, Bisping decided to spit at the opponent's cornermen. Unhappy with the Englishman's antics, UFC President Dana White decided to withhold the Count's fight bonus as punishment for the controversial ending.
Play Uno at Hungry Jack's.
Uno?
Just peel to win over $87 million worth of prizes instantly, like thousands of dollars in gift cards and other epic prizes. There's a 1 in 4 chance to win instantly. The winning is better at Hungry Jack's.
Number 8. Jon Jones makes a gesture to Cormier after their fight at UFC 182. One may be hard-pressed to find a pair of athletes who dislike one another as much as Jon Jones and Daniel DC Cormier, with the two rivals famously participating in a pre-fight brawl that helped to create plenty of buzz for their eventual first clash at UFC 182. But when they finally met in the cage, Jon Jones earned a hard-fought, albeit fairly convincing, unanimous decision victory. Immediately after the final bell had sounded, Jones taunted his opponent with the now infamous crotch chop. This is the very gesture that was popularised by the professional wrestling faction D-Generation X in the late 90s. This controversial move made it very clear to fans that the bad blood between them remained as strong as ever, which was a fact that Jones reiterated during his post-fight interview.
I'm sorry that I'm being classless right now. I do not like DC, and this is why I'm being this way.
Number 7. Nate Diaz flips off Donald Cerrone. Stockton's own Nate Diaz is a fighter who has never been shy about using mental warfare against an opponent, with his signature Stockton slap a classic example of a tactic that the former BMF title challenger has used to get inside of an opponent's head. Diaz has also been known to use his own brand of sign language, which obviously includes flipping off his opposition. While Diaz has used this gesture on several occasions, he most famously put his middle finger to work in a bout with fan favourite Donald Cowboy Cerrone. At UFC 141, in a contest that would end up earning a Fight of the Night bonus, Diaz took time in between rounds to fire a double bird in Cowboy's direction. In typical fashion, Cerrone seemed mostly indifferent. Despite the incident, there were apparently no hard feelings, as the two took time to shake hands and hug as Diaz earned a unanimous decision victory. Number 6. Tito Ortiz flips off Ken Shamrock. When one thinks of an intense UFC rivalry, Ken Shamrock and the Huntington Beach bad boy Tito Ortiz will likely come to mind. This heated feud lasted for several years, with little respect shown by either man. One of the moments that took their legendary quarrel to the next level occurred back in 1999 at UFC 19. That evening, Ortiz avenged a loss to Shamrock's Lion Den trainee Guy Mezger. Following the dominant TKO victory, the Huntington Beach native continued to add to his bad boy persona, as he flipped off none other than UFC legend Ken Shamrock, who on the night was cornering for Mezger. The incident would garner plenty of attention for the UFC, as well as helping to heighten Ortiz's profile. Number 5. Colby Covington calls Brazil a dump. Throughout the early portion of his UFC run, Colby Chaos Covington showed plenty of talent inside the cage. That being said, nothing about the former NCAA Division I wrestler was particularly memorable. To help stand out from the crowd, Covington decided to adopt a supervillain persona, which he first put to work following a 2017 bout with Damian Maia. This co-headlining contest took place in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So after earning a unanimous decision victory, in a post-fight interview, Chaos antagonized the Brazilian crowd by referring to their nation as a dump.
Brazil, you're a dog! All you filthy animals suck!
Since the Brazil incident, Covington has become one of the most popular trash talkers in the sport. And while some fans may not care for his antics, love him or hate him, Colby Covington is one of the UFC's most prominent stars at the moment. Number 4. Paul Daly sucker punches Josh Koscheck. Former welterweight title challenger Josh Koscheck has a knack of getting under people's skin, a trait that he showcased on the inaugural season of The Ultimate Fighter. One man who found Koscheck and his fighting style particularly annoying was MMA veteran Paul Daly. Following consecutive victories over Martin Kampmann and Dustin Hazlett, Daly was set to take on Koscheck at UFC 113 in a welterweight title eliminator. Though Daly managed to go the distance, he had no answer for his opponent's outstanding wrestling, as he was thoroughly dominated throughout the fight. Moreover, Koscheck also admitted to talking a little bit of trash into Daly's ear throughout the match. Frustrated by both the performance as well as Koscheck's comments, Daly stalked his opponent after the final bell, and threw a left hook that would go down as the most memorable cheap shot in UFC history. Following the incident, a furious Dana White announced that Paul Daly would be banished from the UFC for life. And despite a solid run outside of the promotion, the ban has never been lifted. Number 3. Brock Lesnar yells at Frank Mir and flips off the crowd. In their first meeting at UFC 81, Frank Mir defeated an inexperienced Brock Lesnar early in the first round. That said, when the two men met for the second time at UFC 100, the outcome turned out to be very different. The second time around, Lesnar used his dominant wrestling to control Mir and eventually secured a second round TKO victory. After avenging his first professional loss, the former UFC champion proved to be anything but a gracious winner. Lesnar proceeded to get in Mir's face for a little post-fight trash talk, and then responded to an unappreciative crowd with an emotional double bird. Of course, Lesnar also shared some heated comments during his post-fight speech.
Frank Mir had a horseshoe up his ass! I pulled that son out, and I beat him over the head with it!
Even going so far as to take a shot at the UFC sponsor.
What the hell?
I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna drink a Coors Light. That's a Coors Light because Bud Light won't pay me nothing.
Of course, sore winner or not, Lesnar remained one of the UFC's biggest attractions, both literally and figuratively.
Try new So Good oat milk. It's totally creamy.
M-E-N-U-L-O-G. Medium-low. You gotta like that.
Relatively. Number 2. Tank Abbott mocks John Matua after his knockout win. The UFC 6 fight between Tank Abbott and John Matua, which took place back in 1995, serves as a reminder that disrespecting one's opponent inside the cage is hardly a new concept. Interestingly enough, this fight also happened to be Abbott's first fight in the promotion. Once the match started, the bar brawler out of Huntington Beach wasted little time and quite literally knocked his opponent stiff in just 18 seconds. To add a bit of insult to injury, Abbott then mocked his opponent by attempting to emulate the position in which he was lying unconscious. While the gesture was clearly in poor taste, it was these sort of antics that would help make Tank Abbott one of the sport's early stars. Number 1. Ryan Benoit kicks the butt of Sergio Pettis. Quite literally. After a disappointing promotional debut, in which he suffered a submission loss to Josh Sampo, Ryan Babyface Benoit was looking to right the ship against Sergio Pettis at the Ultimate Fighter 18 finale. Despite being a massive betting underdog, and following a challenging first round, Ryan managed to land a big left hook and win the contest via a second round TKO. However, after the referee had already waved the fight off, he then decided to quite literally kick Pettis in his rear end. Benoit apologised shortly after the incident, and as a result, no punishment was handed down. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to let me know.
Well, that was 10 most disrespectful MMA moments. I kind of expected actual like fighting clips, not backstories and stuff. But holy crap! I had like 13 hours of I had 15 hours sleep and I'm still tired. That's nuts. But yeah, I kind of expected more fighting clips. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Be sure to check out all the before most disrespectful moments, and it's one more after this that I'm gonna record right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and take care and peace out.